Renee, I want to talk about playing Judy, because obviously part of her story was sort of the way she was treated by the public and the media at a certain point in her career. How did you sort of get into the headspace of relating to her at that point in her life?
Well, I guess going back to what Jennifer said, where does that story come from? You know, and you, again, you get to the place where you resign yourself to needing to be the determinant of your own, I guess, I don't know, legacy, whatever that might be, how your children or your nieces and nephews think of you going forward, based on what it is that they might read. But knowing that there's so much more to a story than what's written, and understanding and looking at what was written about her at the time of her passing and the years leading up to it in the last chapter of her life, it seemed so unfair to me. Because it was, of course, salacious, because that's what's so exciting to read about, and that news travels more quickly, doesn't it? Where they say a lie will travel around the world while the truth is still putting its shoes on. And I thought, I'd like to understand this better. I'd like to understand why that chapter is blanketed in tragedy and why she was accused of things, making such bad choices, and how she ended up in a place where she was facing so many challenges.
Was there a certain point in the process where you felt like, I have it, like when you put on the hair and the outfit and the makeup, or was it much earlier than that where you felt like, I've really got who she is?
No, that didn't happen. It didn't happen. It was in motion. It was a process that was in constant motion. Just little experiments. We were trying things every day, and it didn't feel like making a film. It felt like this celebration of her, because everybody came to set and was motivated by the same affection or adoration for her, and it was an expression of that. So we were all cooperatively trying things, and there was always new. Someone would find a recording, or we'd read something in a book, and we were always sharing and sort of adjusting according to what came along. Making choices on the day and just sort of conjuring her essence as truthfully as we could, based on, those things, that treasure we were mining for every day.
A couple of filmmakers have come out sort of against Marvel films recently. Scorsese said a couple of things about that. Curious what you think about Marvel films being called the theme parks of movies and things like that.
It seems like it's a chicken and egg conversation because of what you're talking about in terms of content and how we've changed how we sort of take in different, the cinematic experiences, or what used to be cinematic experiences. The place of movies, the place and the importance of cinema has also shifted a little bit. We used to all watch the same things because the movie came to the theaters, and it was in the theaters for a couple months, and then you went several times, and then everybody was talking about it. We all had the same heroes, and so it set up a particular business model, and that was the paradigm for so many decades. It's kind of weird when suddenly the only things that sort of fit the modern financial paradigm are these bigger films, in terms of people who are eager to invest to go and make a film. That's a proven, tried and true in the current atmosphere, where people don't run to the cinema 2 and 3 times to see a movie as readily as they did.